I'm Scotty T. This is your Comedy Minute, and I have a very talented comedian, author. Tania Lewis is here. Tanya, how are you?
Hi, Scott. Hi, I'm great. How are
It's
you?
nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Are you in the Falkland Islands?
That was sometimes I can't remember where I'm living. I'm
Yeah, because on
living in
on X you're at a different location. I think I'm gonna guess. Are you in New York?
I'm in New York, but
Okay.
I have my fantasy places. So
Okay.
sometimes when I just want, maybe some of the stalkers not to know where I'm at,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
in.
you laughed when I wrote the other night because I was trying to figure out what time we're gonna do it, and you're like, Falkland Islands. All right. So when did you start doing comedy?
When did I stop? Let's see, about 12, 13 years ago now.
Okay. And was
Yeah.
there a catalyst for you to, was there something that said, I'm going to do comedy?
It was kind of a progression. Like I was doing radio and that
Okay.
really wasn't working out so great. Like I was working in it, but I wasn't like on the air doing the fun stuff, being the
Okay.
talent.
All
I was
right.
behind the scenes. And I've always been a fan of comedy. I just never imagined stand up as
Okay.
something I could do. But it
Right. Right.
was one time my dad used to take me to clubs when I was a teenager.
Right.
And I'm kind of a shy person, not as much now, but
Yeah.
when I
After
was a
12
kid,
years of doing stand up, go ahead. Keep
I was
going.
I was very shy. And
Right.
we went out one night and they asked, I guess I was like such a good audience member. I don't
Right.
even remember what the proposal was. They were like, "Do you want to come up and like talk or tell a few jokes?" I'm like, "I don't have any jokes," but I did. I got up there and I
Right.
never forgot about that experience.
Okay.
But it took maybe 20 years after the fact to go and
Okay.
revisit that.
But was there a catalyst? Was there something where that was it? Somebody just said, come and do it, and you decided, heck with it, I'm going to do it.
It was like years later when I was living in Nashville and I,
Okay.
I had met, a lot of people in the music and the radio business.
Okay.
And one of my friends I worked with at the station had a friend who was a comedian and he started doing stand up. And I went to go see him perform one night. And that night was like, this is what I need to do. There was
Okay.
something about that transformed me. And I came back to New York because it's the number one market, which was
Right.
probably like, I don't know, good and bad idea.
No,
Because
it.
you have to
I
fight for
understand because
stage
I
time.
worked in we're and I apologize for interrupting.
Yeah, no problem.
We're in the music business. I was in the music business, and you mentioned that, and I have a couple
Hmm.
tricks up my sleeve about that. But where it's when you talk about New York, L.A., Chicago, Philadelphia, those are the top markets. You need to be in those markets if you want to be, draw attention to yourself.
Exactly. If you want to get good,
Yeah.
and then you could kind of taper off. But it's also, obviously very competitive.
Yeah. Well, let's move on because this is
Mhm.
this is where we're going to hit some meat here, and
Okay.
I love this. Besides doing stand-up comedy, you wrote a book
I did.
called The Other Guide to the World, Atlas Snubbed. And why don't you tell the people a little about that? And then I have a couple little accoutrements I want to drop on
Sure.
top of it.
Well, one of my other passions in life is geography.
Right.
And it's something I kind of pursued academically as well, but
Right.
not the type of geography I imagine. Like I didn't become a geography teacher, which probably would have been more suitable for my personality. Instead, I like went into computer software and
All right.
and all that boring shit. But um my love of travel and geography and
Right.
comedy. And I would just I I wrote some stuff for my mom on one of her birthdays about
Okay.
she was turning 70 that year.
Right.
And it was all about 70 or 71. It was 71 countries that you must visit
Right.
and picked very places that aren't normally what you would pick. And each one was as like goofy and
Yeah. Oh,
not
I got some
typical.
stuff. I got some stuff. I got some stuff.
That's kind of like so she loved the gift, right? But it was all
Right.
handwritten and
Yeah.
uh
Okay. All right.
And it, like, I'm not an artist, so I had to cut out pictures and that
Yeah, I got it.
kind of. And
So
she
that
loved
that
it.
was the start of the book.
That was the start. But she said, now why don't you write about the rest of the countries?
Yeah.
And instead of saying F you, I said, you know what? I will. And there was a 9-year journey after that.
No, and I got to tell you, because I got a couple things written down. I wrote down a lot of stuff because you're an amazing woman. You have a lot of stuff. You just
Thank
besides doing comedy, writing the book. But when you launched the book, and this is on YouTube, and I'm going to include
you.
all the links to Amazon so they can buy the book. And on
Fantastic.
YouTube, when you launched it, you had a whole batch of comedians come out and read a little section from it,
Yeah.
which I thought was really cool. And that's where Karen Krentz and Anthony Crescenzo was on, and I
Yep.
was like, I got to have her on. This is pretty cool.
You know those guys. Yeah.
They've been on the show.
Fantastic. I didn't
Sherry
realize.
Linick has been on the show.
Well, she's the one that
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And there's another one I'm going to pull out. There's another
Okay.
one you may not know about. Maybe you do. Anyway, so just tell the folks about that because I thought that was really cool. They come up and each one had to read a section.
Yeah, it was kind of like there's a lot of people that have book launch parties and you could sit around maybe read from the book. And since my book is not conventional, it's not a novel, it's it's really like a coffee table book that you read here and there when have
Right.
some friends over and you're sharing the bong and it's what
Okay.
that's the kind of vibe I started to
Yeah,
think of.
yeah.
Well, I have all these comedian friends and we all love to perform. And
Right.
I thought like I said, asked them if they wanted to pick a country or they wanted me to pick a country for
Right.
them. And they could talk about it, they can write something on their own and they could read a little bit. I was like, you don't have to
Okay.
read a
Right.
lot.
Okay. Cool.
And so everyone kind of did their own thing. Each person did
Yeah.
read a
It's
little
really
bit
cool. Really
and
cool.
then some kind of acted things out.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. We had a good time that
Well,
night.
I have to admit, and in other words, like you have a section about, and I read some of the things on different things and different people. The yogurt in Iran,
Yeah,
I wrote that down, and I guess that's where
it's big there.
how because part of it is it all true? Is it 100% true?
It's based on facts with a little twist, you
Yeah,
know?
my old boss, I worked for a guy from Texas. He say, "Hey, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story,"
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit if you want some
Yeah,
travel tips.
some of it was like really accurate. I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah, because I'm kind of a geek for that kind of stuff. Like that's my
Yeah,
favorite thing to
exact.
read about. And I know a lot of people like, they can find that tedious and boring. I'm like, yeah, but I'll put a little spin on it. It gives
Yeah, it's
like
great
a fun
stuff.
way to learn about the
A
world
great
and
book. People
cultures.
should get it.
Thank you.
But another, and this is where, and I have to say, I hesitated to do this, but a friend
Mhm.
of yours said, go ahead and do it. She'll laugh. You have in there about Kazakhstan, and they celebrate 3 New Years.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's true.
Okay.
Well,
Now, hold on to your helmet. Hold on to your helmet.
uh-huh.
It's not every day people say to you about Kazakhstan, right?
No.
I've done two separate Your Comedy Minutes back in the day. I used to do them solo, just me,
Hmm.
about a guy from Kazakhstan named Yuri Talachko.
Really.
Have you ever heard of Yuri Talachko?
I feel like I should, but no.
Yuri Talachko, and I apologize that I hate when I talk too much, and we'll get back, but I have to tell you this, and
Mhm.
someone told me I should do it. Yuri Talachko from Kazakhstan has 150,000 plus subscribers or followers on Instagram, huge bodybuilder. He married his sex doll. He no, hold on. He didn't marry her right away. He wanted to get to know her first. So he married his sex doll after dating her for 6 months,
Oh, that's
but
because
he cheated on her with an inanimate object and a supermarket chicken.
Did they work it out?
He's now in love with an ashtray. No lie. Let's move on.
I mean, it's 158,000 followers sounds like the population of the country. So that sounds about right.
Kazakhstan, and I apologize, but it's not every day that I see Kazakhstan. I got to talk about Yuri Talachko.
Well, he sounds like a fantastic guy. I wish
He
I
does, doesn't he?
a true Romeo.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Comedians that inspired you and comedians that you like now.
Oh, George Carlin, number one, top, always.
I had a conversation with George.
I never got to meet him, but I did get to see him perform, so I'm glad I
Cool, cool.
did. Um, Howard Stern, even though he's not your stand-up type of comedian, he was
Right,
very
right.
special. So was Woody Allen.
Yeah, that's one
And
I haven't heard.
my favorite comedian now is Doug Stanhope.
Oh
Uh,
my God. Oh my God. You hit a nerve with me. I love Doug
I
Stanhope.
love him. I couldn't be more different from him, and that's why I find fast. He's just like he's got some balls of steel.
Did you see the one where the guy wanted to do a haiku
Yes,
on his YouTube channel?
about about committing suicide, correct?
Fuck him. I'm sorry. Fuck him. He didn't want to come up. His wife, he has feelings. Ah, fuck his feelings. I'm sorry. We can I'll edit it out. I apologize.
No, that I love him. There's nothing
Oh
about
my God, he is a
I,
riot.
I see him every time he tours. I love
Really.
Stephen Wright and
I
Mitch
met
Hedberg
Steven.
and Gilbert Gottfried. I got to get those
Gilbert
guys.
Godfrey. That's wonderful too. Um, do you still have the trading cards for sale?
I still do. Yes, I
Tell the
do.
people about those. I love those. Those are great, especially the single guy stuff.
So I'm a baseball fan, and that's really what
Yeah,
they're
the
based
Yankees,
on.
right? The Yankees.
Big Yankee fan. I'm still
Ugh,
nursing my
ugh.
wounds.
I'm gonna get sick.
It was a tough one. You know, if it was a small market team, people are just, hey,
World
we're just
Series,
happy to
man.
be
You were
here.
you were this close. I'm an Orioles fan, so I really couldn't give a shit. I'm sorry. Did I
Yeah,
say
but
that?
you feel this pain many years, many
Yeah,
years.
I know. I know. All right. So go ahead.
So,
Tell them about the trading cards.
so basically, that was the idea behind it. Like it started off as serial killers, and I'd give their stats, like baseball.
It's great. We have
But
two
then
different sets. You have two different sets of
two
cards,
different
right?
sets. So the first set, I decided I'm going to keep going. It's not just going to be serial killers. It will be a thing called
Yeah,
the
it's all
mysteries
the yeah,
of history, right? So it's
yeah,
like cult leaders, religious
yeah.
leaders. We got dictators.
All the terrible people in the world.
Exactly. And it's
All
only
the terrible people in the world.
and the thing is,
and
it's only
and
the
you make
first.
trading cards that you can collect them and trade them with your friends. I'll give you Hitler. I'll give you Hitler for
Exactly. He is a favorite. Yes.
yes,
Hitler's in there.
Hitler's
He's
the Hitler
represented.
trading card. Kids at home, get a hold of that.
You get him, you get the gold. It's kind of like
Okay, and the other set's about single guys, right?
it's called, yeah, the single I thought this was good
Single
for
man or something.
single ladies. It's yeah, the single men dating cards.
Yeah.
And it's like more of fictitious people based
Oh
on
yeah, kind of like the
real
book.
real like for an example, there's a guy like that's the musician guy, and he has certain stereotypes like
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how that he might write a song about you, but he's going to leave you for the next person that comes along.
Oh sure, sure.
And so that they both have 20 to 25 cards in there,
Yeah.
and I think they're a lot of fun. I do make board games as well, so
Okay. All right.
but I kind of decided to separate it because I couldn't quite, like come up with a really good board
You
game.
you I saw some of your posts Like I went over to X. You have a X thing, and you wrote something about Carly Simon. 18, does she still feel the pain? I actually met Carly, but
Oh
anyway,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, sure. Let's move on. Teresa De Gaetano.
that's my girl.
I saw you two celebrating your birthday.
Mm.
She told me to tell you she loves you. You're a great travel. You guys travel together and have fun, and she loves your purple Jeep.
Oh, my purple Jeep. That's my pride and joy. I love
Okay, all right. I'm glad I got that together.
it.
You love cats.
I do. I do. I
How
don't
many do you
have,
have? How many?
I
How many?
don't,
I heard that you just. I don't know how many you have, but I know you love cats.
I am like a cat whisperer. Like I love to
Okay.
be around them. If someone has a cat, I want to go over their house, but I do not have my own cat.
No lie.
Yeah, there's a couple reasons. One, I don't think my landlord wants
Yeah,
like
yeah. If you can
his
have
dogs
animals.
might eat it. So
Wait a second. Go back. Your dog might eat it.
his dogs might eat the cat.
Oh, his dogs. Okay. I thought. Well, if you get it. Okay.
And like eventually I'll get another cat. I've had cats,
Okay. All
but
right.
sometime soon.
Okay. Do you have a favorite show that you've done? All the stand up that you've done. A favorite show that you've done, and then the least favorite show.
Ooh.
In other words, and
Good
you know,
question.
I'm well, and we'll establish I'm an idiot. Well, if Yuri Talachko didn't tell you I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. But the least favorite show is the one I'm looking for.
Favorite show. That's like I mean I've had plenty of fun. I don't know if one in particular, but I'll go to one recently that was maybe my favorite
Whatever you
show of
know,
this year.
whatever you can do a couple. I like you. Go
Okay.
ahead and do a couple.
It was a private show my friend and I did for this 60th birthday roast.
Okay.
And I'm not necessarily a roast comedian, but I said I'm up for the task.
Okay.
And it was just his crowd, they were so unusual. You had like,
Right.
he was an unusual guy and he had a great sense of humor. Because usually you don't
Oh,
know how
kind of
private
like today for you.
he had big fuzzy eyebrows. That's what I remember.
All right.
Um, but they like loved us when they wanted more ripping. Like I'm not used to that. Sometimes you go too far.
Oh, sure.
Um, and it was this party was like an elaborate mob wedding. That's what it reminded me of.
Okay. I've been to a couple of those.
And they had
No,
a
I have.
spread, and it was great. The people were great. That was a good time. They loved our comedy.
And that was one of your
One of
favorites.
my favorites, like this year,
Okay,
that
recently,
sticks
yeah.
out.
Well, any again, I'll give you another one. I like you. You're gonna see in a minute how much I like you.
I now I won't pick one show, but when I got to perform at Caroline's, like I
Yeah,
finally got to like get past at Caroline's, and then of course it closed a couple years later because
right. No, but that for people that don't know, that's a huge comedy club, been around for a long, long time.
so every time I got
Was
to go
around, I
up
should
there,
say. Yeah,
yeah, and I couldn't believe it. Like she made it through the pandemic and everything, and then decided to close. And it
yeah,
wasn't a lack of popularity; she just wanted to do
yeah.
something else. So,
Well,
uh,
for someone like me that grew up on I met Rodney Dangerfield, and I
yeah.
grew up on Caroline's. If you playing Caroline's, you were doing all
That
right.
was a big deal. That's the way
Yeah,
I
that was a
saw
big deal.
it. Yeah.
Sure. Least favorite show. Can't get away with that one without that
Oh,
one.
probably one I did the other night. Like, no.
But go ahead, elaborate. That'll be fine. You know what I'm looking for then.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and
Oh, where
elaborate.
I
Go ahead and
can't get
elaborate on
out the
that
back,
one.
where I can't get out the back door fast enough.
Oh, really?
No, I gotta
You know
think.
what?
Like,
Before you say anything,
hmm?
sometimes it's not just the jokes don't hit, but there's the mic didn't work, the lights were off, people were, just there's a lot of factors that go into it.
I
Right? I mean, in other words, would you agree with that? You could be perfect, but there's other factors that,
Oh, that other stuff
yeah,
usually, or the crowd is just not listening, or they're
yeah,
not. It's a show in your non-conventional type of room. and they're like an
Right.
ambush comedy show, and they're not expecting comedy.
Yeah, right.
Those are sometimes they go your way. Like if you can grab them with a good opening line, then they're
Go
listening.
ahead. Go give me a good opening line. Go ahead. Do one of yours. Go ahead.
Oh,
See if it
I
gets you.
said here's an oldie but goodie.
Go ahead.
I a young guy like 25 asked me out the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I've had abortions older than him.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Hey, you almost got me speechless. Let me try this. I normally do this joke before we start. What's funnier than a dead baby?
What?
A dead baby in a clown outfit. I like dark stuff. We've gotten to the point. Yeah, how about I do one more? Do you want me to do one more dead baby?
Yeah, do it there,
What do you
baby.
get? What do you give a dead baby for his birthday?
What?
A dead puppy. All right, we hit the part. We hit a part. A friend of yours told me, and I want to. I'm gonna muscle it up a little bit here. I understand that this guy.
Uh, yes.
That's from 1979. Can you see it? Do you see what it is?
Slow
That's your
train
boy,
coming.
Bob Dylan,
That's
Slow
my
Train.
boy.
And then I have a Bruce Springsteen. I'm going down.
Are these, oh, I think I, these like 45s? Yeah.
Those are 45 picture sleeves
Fantastic. That's
that
my
I'm
favorite.
contemplating sending them to you. I'm not sure. We'll see how the rest of this goes. But and here I even pulled out because I don't know if you know this. Do you know when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame opened?
Hmm.
What happened there? Do you know?
Well, Bob Dylan got inducted by Bruce
No,
Springsteen.
no. When they
Oh,
first opened in
80.
1990,
I thought it was 88, right? I think.
no. Well, they opened it in 95.
Oh, like the actual
And what
place.
and what? Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know? I was at that show.
Oh, okay.
And Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen played together. Bob Dylan
Yes,
did five
Forever
songs.
Young.
And here, there's that. I wanted to show you that. I'm now that I may.
Oh, yes. That's
I
fantastic.
thought I thought
Love
we
it.
could talk a little about that.
I love that performance, man. I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, my two favorite guys together.
Yeah, I was at that show. Aretha Franklin tore it up.
Was that actually, because I only got to see it like on, video, because I had,
Yeah,
remember back in
yeah.
the
It
day
was
when they
it
had,
was 3 or 4 hours. There was all kinds of
did they
folks there.
broadcast it like on cable or something?
I don't know that you can get the Kinks were there. It was just so many people.
I had it on a VHS tape that I bought at some kind of, they used to have those stores where you can get bootlegs. That was like my favorite thing to do, was collect stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and I'm 62 years old. I used to work in the music business. I've worked with all kinds of artists, and I just had to bring that up because a friend of yours told me she loves Bob Dylan. She loves,
I
she
love
gave me a couple tips. Teresa gave me some tips,
I love that
and
you did your homework. It's fantastic.
well, sure, you come on my show. And I'm not. This isn't me flexing,
Mhm.
okay? But I just had George Wallace on Wednesday. I had Carol Montgomery on Thursday. And I got you today, and I think I saved the best for last.
Oh,
Those two bored the shit out of me.
hear you say that to all the comics. You say it-
No, no, you know what it is? Even though I have a picture with Ringo Starr and I've done a lot, those people make me nervous.
Comics?
No, well, those two did.
Oh,
See, you don't make me
Sarah
nervous.
Montgomery?
No, and it has nothing to do with
I
your
do know
star
her.
value or Q factor or Howard
Mhm.
Stern, or it's just that they made me nervous.
That's interesting. Like comics are supposed to make you feel, maybe you know what it is? They're
Oh no,
nervous.
no, no,
They're
no, no.
nervous.
I've done about 150, like Teresa De Gaetano versus Sherry, they're all different. Each one's
That's
different.
true. That's true.
And
I mean, I
it's
think
just
it could be nervous energy from
well,
their.
it's just you and me without a net, you know.
Mhm.
You
And
know, this could really
who
go
knows
tits up right quick. I'm sorry, did I say that? or
it?
or when it's done, you go, he was an asshole.
We could find a way to ruin it. It's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you know why people hate me before they get to know me?
Why?
Well, it saves time. Russia.
Yes.
Russia. What about Russia? You like Russia,
I am it's in my blood. I'm American born, but you know,
right?
Russian in my blood. I'm
Yeah.
also a Ukrainian, so I got a civil war going on inside. So
What? Again, you're playing into my hand. Why do you think I write this stuff down? Why do you think I have this? My brother married a Ukrainian woman.
and how is she?
RussianBrides.com. When he heard about that, he was bonkers.
You could buy I think the Ukrainians work cheaper, so that's
Well,
what's
he
great.
he went the first time, and
He went and found me.
he sent all this money, and when he got there, no Inga, no Olga.
Where is she?
But I met Gleb, and he met two nice Russian people that were the
Yeah, that's
second.
what I would love to go to Russia. That's one of the places I want to go.
Right, right. That's why I brought it up.
Mhm.
That was my question: is you've never been there? I thought you were
Never
there,
been. No,
but you obviously Ukraine. You've been to Ukraine.
I have not. I'm just these
What the hell did you? What the hell are we doing here? Jesus God, where's the
That's
comedy? It's time for your comedy minute. I'm out of stuff. I give up.
no. Hopefully, I can get there before they destroy it all, and I could.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, really, my brother did marry a Ukrainian woman.
That's pretty cool. Well, that's it's in my blood.
No, no, a couple years she left him and he's
Oh,
dead.
she did? Oh.
And he's dead. So
Oh.
let's move on.
So they're both
I
not
told
doing
you, I
well.
told you this
Is
thing was
that
going to come off the rails. I knew it was going to come off the rails. Stephen Hawking. Let's do that one yet, and
yeah,
then we'll do your comedy minute, okay?
the sexy bitch.
Stephen Hawking, the sexy bitch. Stephen
You know, they don't give him a chance. They're just
Stephen. Well, first off, he's dead.
right. I know a lot of my heroes are dead.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
in terms of scientists, Carl Sagan was my crush, right?
Okay.
And Stephen Hawking, I love them both. I love their books, and
Right,
I'm a
right.
big space enthusiast, so I like them both.
Okay. Well, Stephen Hawking, and again, I apologize, but I had Colin Christopher on, and I
Mhm.
wasn't aware of this. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Stephen Hawking went to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was aware.
And
There's a lot of people on that flight log that because he was trying to seduce scientists into some of his crazy kind of
okay.
eugenic ideas.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't necessarily mean he did anything, but yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
What what do you think the comedian I had on? His name is Colin Christopher. I think he's in China. What do you think Colin Christopher had to say about
What
that?
do you say? I can't imagine.
Take a guess. You're the comedian. Come on, take a guess.
uh,
Stephen
that
Hawking over at Epstein's Island.
he was always ready for a lap dance. I don't know.
What did he like to watch little kids do math problems?
That's funny.
Yeah, he's a really good
It's
comedian. That was
funny.
funny as stuff because I wasn't aware of it.
Yes. I wasn't quite sure that he was on. I know that he is one of the names listed on that flight log.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't know. I don't.
It's kind of like, well, it's like the same thing going on with the Diddy parties. Are we going to get that list? I want to know.
Oh,
Maybe
I
you're
boy, you
changeable.
just that you just keep throwing me. I actually, again, I apologize, but I showed you. I worked in the music business. I had dinner with Will Smith, and he didn't smack me. I had dinner with R. Kelly, and he didn't piss on me. And I met Diddy, and I guess I wasn't his type.
I thought you were going to say, and he didn't fuck me, but
Well, hey, that's between us. I don't need to share that shit with you.
yeah, that's the romantic stuff.
Yeah,
You got to keep
I'm
that
definitely
quiet.
Diddy's type. Big fat white dude. Fat old white dude. How you doing? I want to. Nice, nice. Boy, this thing's come completely off the rails, hasn't it? Why don't you tell people? You notice I slap back to normalcy every now
Yeah,
and again. Yeah, every now just I'm not
reset.
getting enough oxygen at that point. Why don't you tell the people what you got doing coming up? Anything that you want to tell the people, and then we'll do your comedy minute, and I'll let you get off this mess.
Sure, sure. Well, I run a show here in New York, in Piermont, New York,
Okay.
and I produce that with my good friend Randy Lupo. Do you know her? She's another.
Well, we'll get Randy on the show if she'll
Get
come
her on
on.
the show. She's she's hilarious.
Listen, that's the way it rolls. That's the way I roll.
And so we do the show like every other month at the Turning
Okay.
Point, which is also a music place. So
Okay.
uh, all comes together.
No, no, and trust me, and I apologize. I hate when I talk too much, but
No
I
problem.
feel like I know you have a lot of connections. I'll put all the links to your Instagram, your Facebook, the shows. Anything I can do. I'll do that.
Fantastic.
That's
Yeah,
how I roll.
that's what I got. That's coming up at January 4th, and
Okay. Well, this way or
I'll be
before that,
doing and I'll be doing some other local shows. So there you
sure.
go. I got a website, Tanya Lewis
Yeah, yeah,
Comedy.
yeah.
I got the Instagram
You
and
got the book,
Facebook.
you got the cards,
I got the
you might
book.
even throw
I
in a
got it
Ouija
all.
board. You might even throw in a Ouija board for them. Special Christmas Ouija board. Buy
That's next
buy
year.
buy a deck of the murderer cards and you get a single boyfriend card separate.
I
I
will
have a gold plated Hitler card I'm going to send you.
I'll do two for one.
I'll tell you what, I'll trade you a Bruce Springsteen. I'm going down 45 for a deck of the single guy cards.
Hey,
We'll have
I
to
got a
work out
record
something.
player. I got a record player, so those
Do
are
you
good.
really?
Yes.
Do you know I have a ton of vinyl records, a ton of them.
I love
We'll have
music.
to make a deal.
Yeah, well,
We'll have to
let's
stop the recording shortly. We'll have to work something out. Oh, here, look. Oh, look, wait. Maybe I can pull out one more thing. Maybe this Born in the USA Springsteen thing there.
Oh,
That's
is
the old
that
album. That's the old album stuff.
yeah,
Maybe
is
I get
that like
that
a
where the albums
display
would fit
thing?
in.
Yeah, that's with
How
the
about
record.
that?
Yeah.
You want
That's
one more? Do you want
yeah,
one more?
give me another one.
Are you sure? All right. Here's a Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA banner. There you
Oh,
go,
that's
kids.
cool.
There you go. Hey, look, we got to stop the recording. I got an auction going.
Going one, going two. I love collecting that stuff. That's why
Ah, well, forget this comedy and all that bullshit. Let's get on to the auction.
I need more stuff. I
All
need
right.
posters.
Well, look, why don't we, in all seriousness, please
Mhm.
mention anything else you want to mention. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, we'll do that. And then we'll do your comedy minute and we'll start the auction.
Well, we talked about some of my friends, Sherry, good friend, that she was the one
Right.
that
Sherry
introduced
Lynn
us.
got us
Yeah.
together.
Teresa,
Teresa De
like,
Gaetano.
Karen, those are some good friends of mine, and it's
She's
sort
from
of
Carlisle, Pennsylvania, right up the road from where I'm at.
now she's in Dirty Jers, Dirty Jers. We go out and we get a few drinks every now and then.
I love her Tales from the Table.
Oh,
Great.
Teresa. Oh,
Yeah,
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 she is from Carlisle. That's right. I thought you meant
yeah,
Karen.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those are great, aren't they? Yeah.
I just love her. I had her on the show early on. I was so nervous and so scared. Now I'm still stupid.
No, she's a lot of fun. We take
um,
many a trip together.
well, let's do it. Hopefully, have a little something for me. You know
Okay.
what time it is?
It's the comedy minute time.
That's right. Tanya Lewis, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
Okay, well, this is more of not so much a
Whatever you want before you even start. Whatever you want. This is your comedy minute. You do and say whatever you want.
great. This is just a little funny story, a little true story that happened to me. Well,
Yeah.
being a comedian, I've had a lot of crappy, sh I should say shitty jobs. I've done
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
2 or 3 at a time sometimes. A couple of
Right.
years ago, I have this job where basically I dress up like a sign. Like I have to
Yeah.
wear a store sign that they get hired out by the contractors when a store is going out of business. And then
Yep.
they pick a bunch of losers like myself to put.
Liquidation sale. Liquidation sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Liquidation sale.
I'm 5 feet tall. The sign is 6 feet two. So imagine,
Okay.
imagine me putting that on, right? And trudging up and down like Times Square, walking around.
All right.
So I did that for a while, and sometimes you usually work the corners yourself, right?
Yeah.
But one time, like I met this girl who seemed pretty sweet, and she wanted me to come with her one day, and like right around the corner, she breaks out like a huge blunt, smoke a little weed,
Yeah.
and 3 minutes later, she's in the pizza shop ordering a slice and taking off the sign. I'm like, you're a bad influence on me. Well, I'm not going to keep that job if I hang out with her. So I don't know what happened to
You
her,
didn't
but
inhale and you didn't go get a slice.
no, I got stoned, but I don't know. I was dedicated. And I went back out there with that sign.
Oh man, that's a great story.
Oh, there's more.
Keep going.
So most of the time I'm by myself, and it was getting towards like the winter months, so it's getting cold, it's dark early. And my boyfriend at the time came by, and he was so sweet. He brought me those little airplane bottles of booze, something to
Yeah.
keep me warm. And, and which was a good idea, but you also gotta pee, right? And
Yeah.
if you're in New York City, if you know anything about New York City, they do not have public restrooms.
Right, right,
But
right.
the person at this store, I guess she noticed I was working the streets and was kind enough to let me use the bathroom. And I go, and I have to take this heavy cement sign off. It's like this huge piece of cardboard that I'm walking around
I
with. I
got
take
it.
it off, I would leave it outside. When I come back out of the bathroom, it's gone. I'm like, how did I misplace this sign?
Someone took your sign.
What? Like what? And I'm like kind of panicked because, if I don't bring the sign, I don't get the $75.
Right.
And I go around thinking, well, maybe I could just find another sign of something else. They won't know the difference. But I I'm walking a couple blocks, and sure as hell, I think it's a homeless guy, or definitely a crazy guy.
Has your
He's
sign.
got my sign, and he's using it to build a second story on his cardboard box house or something.
We're gonna run out of time. I'm telling
Oh
you, we're gonna
no.
run out of time. I don't we're less than a minute.
Oh shit, I'll hurry up.
We're probably gonna run out of time. We'll have to finish it another time. I'm sorry.
Okay.